There's literally nothing on this thing.
It says you're live over here.
Really? Because the camera does not have a light on at all.
I know, but it's there. It's there. This camera is the one that fell on the ground when the dog went running through.
Oh, okay. So there's a reason that it's not showing me anything at all.
Yes.
I feel like I'm talking to not a camera.
Right.
Okay.
Tomorrow we'll use that camera. This one has the red light still.
Okay.
Red and green light.
Okay, good. Okay, good. Hey, everybody. It's Gussy for 420 Tarot. I know I'm a little bit late. I know. But I'm an ish witch, 420-ish, give or take a few minutes. Here we are on May 7th, 2021. And gosh, I know that there was a portal that opened on the 5th. I know that there is another something supposed to happen tomorrow. I have to actually, that information came to me in a weird way that I don't need to get into that, but I really need to look into it a little bit more because honestly speaking, I don't follow all of those like cosmic gateway portal things nearly enough. And I really would like to start doing so because I might catch them in passing, but I really would like to start paying attention about my own energy flow and how it kind of, shifts with these different like cosmic or astrological anomalies, for lack of a better way to put it. But, there's so much to learn, and it's just such a fascinating topic. All of it, really. Thank you, Grim. And so if any of you out there feel like you've got a grasp on that, please reach out to me because I'd love to have a dialogue with you about it. And Grim, too. It's something that we are both trying to look more toward, the alchemy of astrology, if you will. Ooh, this one has a flavor to it.
Yes, pineapple.
Pineapple.
Well, it's more of a pineapple passion fruit hybrid. It's actually called...
I know Puff Puff Pass is like, typical, but I'm just going to do it one more. It's really tasty.
This is flower oil keef from the firecracker growers. But I don't see which... Oh, they're the same ones that make your vape pen.
Oh, okay. I got to show you guys, before I read the cards for today, I want to show you that I'm one of those people that if I smoke a little bit too much sativa, I tend to have like anxiety attacks. But if I smoke too much indica, that's also not good. I get really like la. So Grim has come up with this perfect solution for me. I've got two vape pens. One says air for, if I need to a little bit more indica and kind of get a boost. And the other one is earth, which I guess you can probably figure is a little bit more for grounding, a bit more of a sativa hybrid. So I'm all set on this end, boy. I'm telling you. All right, let me get my candle lit here. I talk about that, the 420 thing. Truly, the reason that we even picked that name is because we liked the way it sounded with tarot, and we do smoke cannabis here. The adults that are of age smoke cannabis around the Dup Cummingstead. Not all, but quite a few. And there really is a time and place for, I think, using cannabis. It's not something that I do necessarily all day long, like the whole wake and bake concept. But if I do have readings to do, I do tend to use it in my spiritual practice. Not always, not every time. And I've certainly had to learn to work with it, to work with the plant. It is just another plant. like, mushrooms are used for certain purposes, and cannabis can also be. But Grim, what are you looking for?
Yes.
Oh, here. But I believe that it can be easily overused by certain people. I know you're not supposed to, be addicted to that or whatever. It's not supposed to be an addictive substance. But I do believe if you have a propensity toward addiction in your own life, the way your life is constructed and who you are, it might run in the family or whatnot. I do believe that people like us, have to watch that very careful balance, because it can easily tiptoe over into the danger zone before you know it. A lot of us have had problems in the past with our own particular potions of destruction. It might be beer or alcohol. It might be some type of drug use, or it might be food. Uh, Plenty of people overeat and consume their comfort foods. I'm one of them. I have been an emotional eater most of my life. Uh, I don't say that lightly, and I don't say that with any kind of ridicule or criticism or judgment in my voice. I am uh, I'm completely convinced that part of what has kept me on the heavier side all of these years, a lot of it is my own image of myself. And somehow, by creating this barrier on the outside, I don't have to feel quite so much from the outside. I've got a protection around me. And a lot of us, we've been through therapy about that in the past. A lot of us have. That's not a new concept. That's nothing new. It's been in probably Ann Landers and, Dear Abby, and even, deeper forms of psychotherapy and whatnot. Uh, but I guess somebody needed to hear that today. Somebody needed to be reminded. And yeah, there's no shame in that. And there's no shame in, I was just telling Grim the other day, my doctor, bless her heart, who has my best interest in her mind, used to try to get me to get bariatric surgery done for many, many years. To the point that really I had to ask her to stop asking me about it, because I told her I just wasn't going to do it. I wanted to try to lose my own weight first, my own way, before I had to have surgery. Now, again, not judging. I know some people's lives have been changed, and maybe I wouldn't have um, some of the physical ailments I do now had I followed her advice a little sooner. But I did start losing weight. A lot of it was my own mindset. I started telling myself that I could lose weight. I stopped looking at it like, I need to lose 100 pounds, and I started looking at it in increments of 5. That seemed a lot more attainable. And I didn't put any kind of time frame on it, like 5 pounds a month or anything like that. But I did watch for a steady decline on the scales at the doctor's office every time I went. Now, at the time, I was a diabetic, so I was going about every 6 months, because they want you to check your A1C to make sure that your diabetes is under control when you have type 2 diabetes, as I did. So I used that kind of as my litmus test. Every 6 months I would go, and as long as I was under where I was last time, I gave myself a pat on the back. And I started eating better for myself, which, I know that sounds like a simple, yes, let's just start eating better, but we all know that is the hardest thing to do, because face it, you're in the middle of all this stuff that's going on in your life. You're living a fast life. You're running around. You got at least one full-time job, if not 2, and you're probably a parent, and you probably have bills, and you probably have other obligations, whether it be with your children or with your church. Some of you still go to church, I know, and no judgment. But there's all of these demands on our lives, and so when it comes down to We finally get home at the end of a long day, and sometimes it is easier and much more fulfilling to grab something that is just comfort for us and easy for us. And now, I'd rather have you get nutrition than not eat, okay? I'm not saying don't go for that stuff. But once you start realizing and actually experiencing feeling better, it's hard to go back to want to eat that food. For example, my naturopath that I went to for a while, pre-COVID, she and I we worked really hard at trying to define what it was that my body was not able to process very well. I've always had food allergies my entire life, sensitivities, but this time she really said, I can tell your body's just not functioning at its best. I don't think you're processing the right kinds of foods, and I would suggest let's take these out of your diet. Now, she did a particular form of I don't know what she would call it. She practices kinesiology. That is muscle testing to try to find um, what your body is positively responding to or what it negatively responds to. We can talk about that later. That's not the important point. But she told me that I really should cut rice out of my diet. Now, I love rice. I love Thai food. I love Indian food. I love Mexican food. I love food with rice. I love rice. Okay, I love rice. But I'll be darned. I had no choice. I had to listen to her. I was feeling so sick that really it was like, what do I have to lose? I must listen to her. So Grim and Mist both helped me kind of switch that out of my diet plan because rice was a big part of what we ate. And it's a big part of what a lot of people eat. Now, this is not ripping on rice. I'm not ripping on rice. But for me, eating that rice every day or every couple days, like we were doing, my body was just not able to tolerate and process it. And so I was getting sluggish and run down, and I just wasn't flowing smoothly. I kept putting something into my body that wasn't agreeing with my body. So that makes everything harder then. If your body's already fighting that, and then you throw on top of that just the onslaught of like seasonal allergies right now. So that makes us a little bit more tired and run down. And then on top of that, some of us are experiencing these emotional mood swings. So pile that on top of it, it all adds up. When I switched what I was consuming, once I got that particular item out of my diet, I started to feel better. Now, that doesn't mean I don't still crave it once in a while, but now I just allow myself to have it like once a month instead. And when I limit it that way, I don't feel as sick as I used to. And I'm not saying, cut out rice. That's not my point. My point is that there are some changes that we need to make in our lives to make things better. And I know we already know what they are. That's the funny part. We already know these changes. It's like you might come here today and you might hope that I'm going to say something that's going to flip the switch and it's suddenly going to make sense to you. And you're going to go, oh, gosh darn it. I love that, Gussy. She's right. I'm going to whatever it is that you might be looking for the answer for. But the truth is that you will already know. If you close your eyes right now and you ask yourself, whatever that burning question is in your heart, if you close your eyes and you just listen, I'll bet you already know. You might not hear a word. You might see a picture in your mind's eye. You might remember a sound or a story or a reason. But you know the answer. Trust yourself. I don't even know that I need to pull a card for this today because I feel like whoever was supposed to hear this heard it. And card or no, I know Spirit is here with us. And Always grateful for the intervention of any of our ancestors, any of our allies, plant, animal, crystal, or otherwise that work with us. I'm just grateful to be part of the ascension, the awakening process that's happening, and part of everyone here that's in this space with me now in this time and place. Always asking for guidance, always asking for clarity that we may take our next best step in the protection and the wisdom of our ancestors, our spirit guides, and those who stand behind us on the other side of the veil. I pulled a card. Now, those of you that were here yesterday, you know the theme was quite different from what today's topic was. But I pulled a card for us, and guess what it is? It's the Prince of Swords, but this time it's not reversed or inverted. Yesterday it was like this when I pulled it. Now, I don't read the cards based on what the typical reading of Prince of Swords means. I intuit the cards, so I use the images that pop at me, the colors, the symbols, whatnot that pop at me to read the card. You should try it sometime. Yep, I could teach you a fancy class too, but I'll bet you already know how to do this. Anyways, Prince of Swords, yes, yes, yes. It is time for action. Just like Loki. You know what? Loki does not take a lot of time. He strategizes. He's a quick thinker. If you don't know who Loki is, you might want to Google him. It's Loki. He's a Norse god. You can look it up. But a lot of you I know are already going, oh yeah, because I know you love him. We talked about him yesterday, and our friend Brandon was here yesterday and really identifies with that energy too. It is time to, yes, I keep hearing action. It is time to strategically go for the change that you want. I know we were talking earlier today about being a healthy weight, and I feel that is something that we could all do better at. I don't know. I'm just kind of looking around at the energy that I feel here connected to me. And I know that a lot of us are sitting here going right now, yeah, I should walk more. I should eat better. I should, meditate more. Like there's something that all of us could do for ourselves to do a bit better job of taking care of us. It is time to activate that self-care. Don't just wait for self-care Sunday. Don't just wait for Sunday if you follow the Covened Up way. Don't just wait for Sunday. You can do it every day. As you drift off to sleep, take a few moments just to release the energy that no longer serves you and allow that space to fill in with clean, healthy, healing energy. Allow that every breath you take through the night is just healing breath of new potential, breath of new things coming toward you. It's a new time. Some of you, gosh, this weight thing keeps coming up, so I'm not sure what this is about necessarily, although it is a nice reminder to myself as well, and to Grimm, because he and I both he needs to eat a lot to keep his weight up, and I need to watch my caloric intake because it all settles on my hips. So there's a fine balance there. Just remember, the basic here is that taking care of ourselves is essential. And it starts with proper nutrition, proper thoughts, and proper intentions. And I think that whole choose happy thing we've been talking about, trust yourself, you can't go wrong with those commitments to your heart and to your own spiritual growth. All right, I think I've spoken enough here for the day. I do love and appreciate working with the cards and with all of you and with Loki's spirit today again. I hope that you have a wonderful evening. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention, you should, if you haven't already, subscribe to our YouTube channel or visit us on Facebook at Gussy and Grimm. Also, you can find us at the Purple Door. And there's another Facebook page called We Are Covened Up. We're just everywhere. And if nothing else, we'd love you to please get our newsletter once a month. Our first one just went out for May, and the next one will be coming up. We just hope to see that improve and improve as we go along, and we could use your support. So I hope you all have a great evening, and I hope you stay magical. See us. Oh, Grim says, remind everybody, see us at 7 because we are going live tonight. Stay magical.